to talk to each other.
No, we only catch up every couple of weeks.
Friends.
It's called being, friendly.
Friend Dave.
All right, are we ready? Irvin, are you ready? Okay, good. All right. It is Wednesday the 23rd of February and we are playing episode 17 of Curse of Strahd. Last time you were
17 of 321.
in the village of Crest. You
Boring world.
We saved a pregnant woman.
saved a pregnant woman, yes.
And the baby has no soul.
Witnessed the birth. The child never cried. Said she didn't have a soul. You guys camped out in somebody's backyard in order to see some grave stealers.
Except we didn't see any.
Except you didn't see any grave stealers.
Strongly suspect we met them later.
Then you ventured to the Abbey.
That's
Yeah,
right.
St.
We took his
Yes,
body up there.
Dragging his body up the hill.
I think I know where the corpses went now. Yes.
Yes.
We met one of them.
Dragging the body up the hill. You met some of the Mongol folk that inhabit the Abbey, live in the Abbey.
What did you call them?
Mongol folk.
Oh, mongrel.
Mongol.
You're thinking the great Khan's descendants.
Yeah, I thought you said Mongol.
Mongol folk.
And
Yes, from
Of the steppes.
from Mongolia.
yeah, or Mongoloid. Neither of which is acceptable.
Oh, the Mongoloid folk.
Neither of which is
So-
even remotely acceptable.
No.
I thought Mongol folk was okay, but
But mongrel, at least, I understand. Yes.
Mongrel.
Yeah, sorry.
Mixtures.
I
Can
think,
I-
I think it
let's
is
move
more
on.
accurately
Can I continue?
mongrel. Yes.
Didn't I say mongrel?
You probably did.
Okay.
That's not what I heard.
Alright.
but
It's
yes.
alright. Peter will let us know in an email when he checks the tape. So,
with a silly meme that goes along with it.
you met, yes, exactly. You met the abbot, and the abbot was quite excited to
Yes.
meet you. He
To see a
said,
corpse again, yes.
They're all excited.
And later on, we met the Gillard. Sorry.
no,
What?
hey, don't worry, he was making a political joke.
Oh,
Um,
no.
The
It's about labour, so therefore it's unacceptable.
The abbot said that you needed to find
What's
an
that
expensive
about
diamond in order for him to perform this resurrection spell.
So we've got to get an expensive diamond, which, let's face
He
it,
did ask you how Carrick died. He did also ask you whether Carrick.
Carrick.
He did also ask you if you honestly believe that Carrick would be willing to return to his body. Otherwise,
Otherwise he'll stay in squirrel heaven.
the spell will not work.
You know, where squirrels go when they die.
He's quite
And very boozy.
The land of nuts.
he's quite happy to attempt to perform the resurrection spell, but there's no guarantee.
and we need the dirty great big.
Didn't we have a dirty great big
No,
diamond?
we don't.
You don't. You need one that's
So
roughly
we're
about
going to have to find a a really big diamond, and basically the abbot's going to shove it up the butt of
We
the-
got told there's one in Argabas Crest, wherever the hell that is.
Argenvasthold.
Do we need
Thank
to
you.
steal it from
That's
there?
actually fairly close to what you said.
I actually wrote it down weirdly enough.
Argenvast
On the piece of paper,
Is that what
I
he
just-
said?
Something
Yeah.
like that. I thought he was just, saying gibberish because he.
I
didn't
don't
what
know
it
why I
was.
said Crest because I know it's Holt because Holt is
No,
like
it's-
fortress.
Kresk is the city that's below.
I thought it was a
St.
village.
Mark.
The really depressing city is Clare.
City, whatever.
Oh, of course.
Crest.
The place.
I'm conflating the
We are in Kresk, or at least Kresk is
Welcome to
It's
Crest. We are
400 feet
boring.
below you at the
400
moment,
feet
at
below
least.
us.
Boring and depressing.
We have no hotels.
You can get to
That's
Crest
perhaps a good thing.
faster if you just step off the cliff.
That's true. We could get there
Sit
pretty
on
quickly.
Crest.
You could.
It'll take approximately 15 seconds.
Don't you think the people in Crest have had enough suffering without you spitting at them? From
No, they deserve all
the
my
Abbey of
bile.
St. Comia?
I hate them.
You hate them. That's a strong
Do
word.
vampires produce bile?
It's a
I
strong
think
word, actually.
we do.
What do you
They
eat?
probably produce an anaesthetic
People.
and an anticoagulant.
You
If I get into a fight, I'll get 8 hit points.
you got into
Oh,
a
no.
conversation with the abbot. He was very excited to see Irina. He called her Tatiana.
That's right.
He believes that she is the living embodiment
Yes,
of,
if not the reincarnation.
yeah,
Of Katrina.
of
Tatiana.
That's
Chiana.
That's the.
No.
You also met Vasilka, his construct, for one of
He's
a better
that
word,
creature.
that he's in fact
Flesh
after
He's sea
a
monkey.
face and a soul for. He's after a face and a soul.
no
for. There's no face. she
Oh,
has a
sorry, that
soul.
one.
Yeah.
That one.
What do you
Yes.
mean sea monkey?
I don't know. Because you raise it in a jar.
Brine shrimp.
Don't ask me to explain my train of thought.
No, she's definitely Katrina. Because that's the
Who's
twist.
Katrana?
That's
Tatiana?
That's the twist ending. She's actually a
fuck
third
off.
person.
No.
She is.
That we've never heard of.
Yes.
It's quite possible.
Disney would do
Hold
that.
on. Hold on for the story.
You should never be in charge of words. Ever.
He's a librarian, we've got problems.
Word master, thou art not.
The abbot then offered you a tour of the facility,
Yes.
which you took him up on, with the exception of, I believe,
He's touring the facility.
Efeline and Xian.
Taking
That
up
they stayed
slack.
with Vasilka,
Yes.
because he said Vasilka
Short
will
skirt
look
and
after
long
whoever
jacket
wishes
by
to
Kate.
stay. At that point,
I know some.
Xian
She's touring
removed
facility and picked
the
up
disc
slack.
of the sun from above the fireplace, and then behind it you found a potion of superior healing, and you found a large book with this crest embodied on it, on the front, a leather bound
That's right,
book
I remember
with old
this.
pages.
Yes.
And when Xian opened it, the book started to turn the pages itself, and then he heard Strahd speak, saw
Yes.
a vision of him, and then that's where we left the last session.
And we're all here.
What do you mean? We're
No,
all
just
here?
you and me.
Yeah, if you two are together, we're off getting
We-
a trip
we're-
to Matt.
Oh,
in the
you
room.
saw
Robbing the safe.
when
I was
Well,
about to
these
say,
guys
you've
had
stolen
distracted
their
the abbot.
stuff.
So, where you last were, he handed you the gold disc so he could fish inside and things. So you're currently holding a 450 GP solid gold plug.
That
for
would be
want of a
quite
better word.
heavy.
Solid gold record.
Yep.
That'd be quite
Um,
heavy.
So the book and what was the other thing in there?
Potion of superior healing.
The book and the potion of superior healing. What is your
Superior
problem,
healing.
Urban?
The book is
I'm
very
just thinking
interesting.
what to do next.
Yes, the book is very interesting.
Okay.
I want to keep the book, but I want to put the potion back. Do you agree with that?
I don't. Why would you take half the stuff? Do you think he won't notice if
agree?
half of it's there?
Well, no, I don't want to just appear at thieves.
Well, how about we
I
don't
thought
take
you were a
anything?
thief.
How about
no, we totally
Sort of.
need the book.
I'm more
How-
of a detective
We
than
need
a
the
thief.
book. We must have the book.
The
So I'm
book
putting
is part of
I'm
the
putting
prophecy.
book into the bag I hold in.
Yep.
Yep.
I put
I
the
think
potion back.
I think at the moment we're jumping the gun.
Why?
Don't you remember what happened last session?
Oh yes.
Hang on.
All right. So
Yeah,
what
he got a vision.
what
Yeah,
happened
vision.
was, so
Oh,
the
it's stuff
Urban,
there.
the
It's a
pages
diary.
started to turn.
Yeah, yeah.
The room kind of blacked out for you.
Yes, yes.
There was a whole lot of mist, and then you saw a vision of Strahd, and he started to speak to you through this mist and darkness.
Yep.
And that's almost where we left it, except I
Yes.
said to Ray, when he looks at you, he sees the pages turn very quickly and the book remain open, and then he sees your eyes roll back in your head, and basically as you hold the book in your hands, your hands are sort of twitching as you're holding the book, but you're quite still. And that's where we left it. Okay?
It's like
Now's
when
your
you,
time to shine, Ray.
it's like when you look into the Palantir and Sauron's trying to make a collect call of your brain.
I'm starting to view Strahd as what's like Grandad of the Thrawn.
There's a certain resemblance, actually.
The blue guy,
Yeah, the blue guy.
that's all I know about
Except he's not blue, but yeah,
Strahd, thank goodness.
yeah,
It's a bit weird.
he's like a non-blue version
Blue.
But Thrawn is blue.
of. Thrawn's definitely blue.
That's his main feature.
It's not easy being blue.
Shall we continue on?
Let's do that.
Alright. Where we're going to start is the abbot leads you out into the way you came in. So you're back in the courtyard.
Oh.
As you remember from the courtyard, you can see now what you've made out to be the fake scarecrow guards that are up the top, which looks, from a distance like they'd be
Dudes.
Yeah, dudes. You've got the courtyard is quite sparse. There is a well in the middle of it. Over to the sides, they're what looks to be fairly old and not often used, sort of like chicken coops and feed sort of areas, but they look to be in quite disarray. And the abbot says to you, yes, come this way, and I will show you all of the abbey and the wonderful things that I am able to do here. So he leads you across the courtyard, unless, of course, you want to do something. He seems to be going without even looking to see whether you're following him.
Where is he headed?
He is headed. That is a great question. So he is headed towards. Remember when you first came in, and then you heard like a whole lot of banging on some doors, and then I think it was Saxon that went and investigated, and maybe you went and investigated as well. You were listening. Yeah, so he's heading in that direction, but he's heading towards a smaller door, not the ones that are on the side.
Okay. Yeah, why not? Unless somebody wants to check out the chicken groups while he's not looking.
Oh, we don't want to know what's in the bowl of chicken coops. Oh my god, they'll be half chicken, half people.
Gary Boosies.
Gary Boosey.
All right. So he reaches.
Not just one of them, like six of them.
Yeah, 6 of them.
He reaches this small door and
There's
goes
my
to,
nightmare for tonight.
and goes to put a key in the door, and he clicks it, and you hear this soft click as it opens. But perception checks for everybody who is following the
Who's
evidence.
actually here?
Yeah.
So
So not
doesn't
a
include Urban
no,
and
no,
I.
that's right. the
How
others
do we do this? We roll a d20.
And D20 and
And
what's
your-
your perception?
Is that even a skill?
It's down on your skills. Yes, it will be.
No, I got 10.
Add your modifier. What's your modifier?
0.
Plus 4 in my case. That gives me a total of 7.
I seem to recall I was still watching the body.
No, you're with them. The only two that stayed with Vasilka
they're only
was.
2.
Yeah, you came to the Abbey as well.
Okay, then I need to make a perception.
Really? Hang on. Do you watching the body? Oh, no, but the body's back with them anyway.
Yeah.
So those two, yeah.
So do I make a perception check then?
Yeah, go. Yeah, you're following.
Okay, 11. Where's my...
Add your perception.
sorry, 13.
13. What did you go?
10.
10. Okay. Jono, you just as you hear the soft click. It's not something informative, but you sense something behind you, and when you turn around from where the well is, you swear you see something just duck, sort of just a little bit
Jeremy!
back down into the well.
Told you there was a vat creature.
Jeremy in the well!
Is it possible for me to surreptitiously sneak over and have a look in?
Oh, no, don't. You don't want to look at Jeremy.
Okay. So he clicks open the door and he pushes it open and he walks in. It's fairly dark in there. Who follows him?
I'll go in.
Oh man, are we about to be gimped?
Why would he gimp us after he... Maybe he will. Who knows? Let's go in and get gimped.
We are armed, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to gimp us.
Well,
Can you smother yourself in honey and scream at us, come get us ant people?
I was actually remembering that.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, well, what could possibly happen? Let's smother ourselves in honey and scream at us, come eat us ant people. He clicks open, and as he walks in, you see that this room used to be an office, as evidenced by the remains of a desk and a chair, both of which have been smashed to pieces.
No, good.
A hallway to the south
That's the best thing.
leads to a staircase going up.
Ah.
A dark passage to the east is full of unnatural whispers, mad laughter, and incredible stench.
Well,
It sounds like a lovely place.
Unnatural
Sorry, I'm a
Mad
bit lost here.
laughter. An incredible
Am I out? I thought I was outdoors.
You are, and now he's entered in through this other door, and the others are following. But you're still out. If you want to,
I'm still surreptitiously sneaking over and looking in the well.
I'm gonna say you were last
An
in
incredible stand.
line of following everybody, so you could hang back if you wanted to.
if you play
Yeah, hanging
German
back
in the
from
world,
Yes.
Okay.
These words
What
related
you
in
see
any way.
then is
Abbot
that
and abattoir
the abbot
and abbey.
turns
Well, when you have
towards
3 abbots, you've got an abbot.
turns towards the south. That he looks like he's going to go up the stairs.
okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay, I'll remember that.
We're
Alright,
going up the
so,
stairs,
alright.
not towards the hall of disturbing
Dissonant whispers.
Isn't it a spell?
Yeah, that's one of
Yeah.
one of
So
his-
I've got that right here.
It wasn't dissonant whispers. He said disturbing whispers, I think.
Hey, yeah, disturbing.
Thanks, George Michael.
Yeah, I know. I'm
what's
the one who keeps bringing it up every single
So
time.
just so I
had
get it,
been
hang on.
rated before you
So-
mentioned it.
Abbott is about to head up the stairs.
Yep.
So Jono's hung back a bit. He's still outside. Who's following him next? Who's up?
I'm following the abbot.
Okay.
I guess I'm bringing up behind that then.
And John is about
just
to
for
begin.
just for ease, and I know probably Saxon would have come, but I'm going to leave Saxon with you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So just
We'll be safer that way.
you guys?
there's
in
Ray
this situation?
and Urban's
He's
characters.
retconned into our existence.
So instead of going on the tour, he's decided to stay with you.
Yes.
Okay, it might be.
Using the
okay.
many
So
worlds
you're first up then.
interpretation.
Okay.
So-
my hand is
you
on the
start.
pommel of my sword.
John,
That's where my
Using
hand
the
is.
many worlds interpretation.
And the reason
we
that
just
you
crossed
seem
through
to
an alternate
you seem to do
reality.
that, Dave, is then as you look down towards that
Where
dark
the
corridor where all
wave
this
function
noise
doesn't
coming from, so
need
you've
to
gone, what's that noise?
collapse.
You see down almost like at the very end, and it's actually quite dark.
If Dirk the Dairy had gone through
This
the door,
What looks like a massive mound of a bloke, and he's just standing there, and he looks like muscle upon muscle. Do you have dark vision at all?
I am.
I think most of the characters have.
man.
Hang
Dark
on,
vision.
you're playing.
Yeah, I've got her character sheet.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know whether she does that.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't think
She
she
has
would.
dark
Okay.
vision because she is
All
a
right,
human.
So,
And a nice one at that.
she's so pretty. Look at her. She's so pretty. Look at that. She looks dark and mysterious.
I tend to keep my distance.
Irina sees, right, because you don't have dark
You've
vision,
got a thing for armor.
Dave,
Thing for armor.
because you don't have dark vision, you just kind of see the silhouette, but it almost, and I mean, it's not like a wide sort of corridor, but this thing takes up like most of the width of the corridor.
This will be
Like
Kondo.
this is like a massive,
Or Condom. That's
like
his name.
Hulk
He
type
probably
sort
just
of,
wants to play ball.
Mungo.
and
Mungo
as,
Google.
and as you look in that direction,
That's so
very
not
slowly
right.
it starts to walk up the corridor.
I mean,
But-
how else could it do it?
But but the abbot goes up the stairs, and you're following. You don't see this unless he says something. You don't, or she says something. You go up the stairs.
We'll just keep with Dr. Nutso.
Nutso. Dr. Mengele.
Pretty good.
I don't believe you went there.
Why the hell not? It's Ravenloft.
I don't know what I was trying to say. Nuts and something else.
I've just got
Nutso.
Boys from Brazil in my head now.
Boys from Brazil,
Oh my
right.
god.
You have to see that film.
Apparently, the world's one of the world's worst movies.
Oh no, it's
No.
not.
Who
It's
told
not.
you that?
It's not the world's. It's insane, but it's not. There's far worse films than Boys from Brazil.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
It's
creepy
kind of
guy.
Isn't that the one
hilarious.
which has got hit?
Yeah, they're all. They've made a whole bunch.
Hitler clones.
Hitler clones.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
kind of ruining the plot a little bit, but not hugely. It's still worth watching.
You reach the top of the stairs.
Excellent.
You follow up, or are you staying?
We
down?
follow.
I'm following, but I'm keeping a good eye.
Backwards,
What's
down the
behind me?
I've seen nothing. I'm oblivious.
Once you reach the top of the stairs, a wooden counter shaped like an L stands at the front of this spacious office. So it's another office upstairs. All
This
other
one hasn't been
furniture
smashed to pieces.
has rotted away, leaving heaps of mouldy wood and faded cloth. Even from up here, you kind of you hear sort of still maddening laughter from downstairs, and the occasional sort of scream and things like that.
I don't think we should comment.
No, we should just pretend this is.
What a lovely sound.
I just heard.
Normal. We wouldn't. I don't think anyone should even say that.
No, we shouldn't point it out at
No,
all.
pointing stuff out can be done.
The abbot turns around to you and he says, "Yes, I'm about to show you the hospital where our patients are taken care of. How do you like the place so far?"
It's fascinating. The architecture is amazing.
What do you like?
I have always had an affinity for odd buildings.
And as you sort of say that, it's like, Jono, and I know you're not there, but it's like you can't hear them. It's like, you sort of, and you kind of like, occasionally you guys are like startled of like, oh, shit, that was so loud. Like, but he doesn't seem phased, whatever.
Who's he?
Right.
Is the abbot or?
Yeah, the abbot's not. But I mean, you guys occasionally like just, jump, like, how can you not?
He experiences every day.
Because barely, like sometimes you barely hear him over a screen, but you can still make out what he's saying. But he's like, he doesn't talk louder because of it. He doesn't talk any softer. He's
It's
just
just
kind
a
of
parent of a toddler.
Yes, I was thinking exactly that.
That's what I'm going for.
A parent of a
Exactly
toddler
what I'm
who's
going
hearing
for, yeah.
somebody else's toddler.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's not mine.
What's he doing? Off run, shoot at pigeons. Oh, good. This is keeping him occupied.
It's no. I can tell you, the first sound that you hear from a child's cry is a complex code that tells you this is my child, and if it's not, the next little programmed response is not my circus, not my monkeys.
And he says, so, shall we continue into the hospital?
Yes, of course.
Good. Fantastic. All right, let's go. So he opens the door, and as you're closest to him, Irene, you do hear something at the base of the stairs that you've just come up, and maybe is coming up the stairs. Do you want to do anything?
Well, I turn around to look.
Okay, look, and you now get a better picture of like this hulking, great
Shambling
giant
mound.
everything. And what you can see is that it is a mishmash of different body parts, but quite large, and you can see very large stitchings within the arms and across the chest. So she's
Does he
paused
have
for a
bolts
moment.
in his neck?
I was thinking more.
I don't think he has a neck.
One's a giant crab claw and the
No,
other's a
not
bubble
really.
helmet.
It's like it's the head is very close to.
Yeah.
I don't think we're meant to
Tomato
fight this
perched
guy.
on a coffin.
And it's staring at you. It hasn't come up the step. It's kind of put one foot on the step, which heard a creak, which made you turn. But then, because you're now looking, it's like stopped.
Yeah.
Like it's playing some weird ass game of red light, green light.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that guy from Cox's Road. You know, the guy staring over your shoulder.
Space Invader Man.
Space Invader Man.
I was using the ATM. This was a while ago.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yes. Go on.
Quite apart from anything else, it's an ATM. I mean,
Yes.
who uses those anymore?
Oh,
And
tap and go, Dave. Tap and go.
I'm there and I'm putting this, and then there's somebody like right next to me, and I thought it was Peter because Peter was.
Sometimes stands very close to you.
Well, he was with me at the time.
I
but-
was outside looking in as this guy. What the hell's going on?
And I was like, I was about to say something. I was like, what are you doing, Peter? And then I realised it wasn't Peter. It's just some guy.
What, just standing that close to you while you're trying to get
he's
money?
like looking at me and look at what I'm doing, and he's like literally,
You're outside.
No, well, it's an ATM, but it's it's in one of those sliding glass windows.
Oh, he's on the outside of the glass.
No.
He's inside.
I
with
mean,
this
he's-
guy.
You're
I'm
outside of the glass.
outside.
And
The
you let
man-
this psycho get in
The
to kill
man
him.
is this close to me. See this yellow
Well, there's
chair?
two telling machines.
Did you
there.
say to him, can I help you?
And he's like literally just there.
Right.
So, well, I was, the transaction was happening, so I just took my money and my receipt and backed away. And he just went straight to the ATM.
He has to use that one. There's two of them.
There was
It's
another
his favourite
perfectly
one.
good
No,
ATM
it's
there.
his favourite one. You were taking up. You should have known. You should have known to use the other ATM. What were you thinking? You could have got yourself shivved in a place like that.
Well, my counter really was I'm on the left and he's on the left, and then he sees me and he goes over to the right And I'm thinking, I'm not going to stand aside for this. He's done this deliberately.
Yeah.
So I just keep marching forward. And suddenly he realizes I'm not going to. And he's like. But normally I just call him Kamikaze Cross the Road guy because he propels himself into ongoing traffic.
No.
This particular road, people every 5 years or so somebody gets killed on here. So I'm amazed he's still alive.
I tell you what, social graces are getting worse. I was in a bookstore and this guy, large guy, and I could sort of tell, you sort of tell people not quite sort of, and he literally, I'm like a distance from the book shop that I can see the books and he just like
Straight in front of you.
like just in front, not once. Like the other time, I actually stepped back because I thought he's bound to hit me this time. But he had to walk that close to the shelves.
No.
It's like, I thought, no.
Honestly,
obviously, you can't see it. Like, he doesn't know that you don't
do that.
But then, I have kids in my class. Like, I was walking back
just
to
walk
class
straight into
and a teacher was having a conversation with another teacher, and he just walked straight through.
Yeah.
Like, I believe I wasn't even talking to him. Another other kid I was with walked around, and I just stopped him. I went, just stop. And he's like, what? Like, I'm in trouble. I went, just stop. Did you see that? What? Okay, there were two people, and I have to explain it. Thank goodness I'm a teacher. There are two teachers talking. You don't walk in that space. And like, this kid's not in my class, but he's like, oh, well, what? Okay, they're talking, so they have that space.
Yeah.
You walk around them.
Yeah.
This is why people talk in the cinema. Like, they just don't think of anyone but themselves.
Was he Caucasian?
I wasn't going to go there.
No.
gonna
There
go
are
there.
cultural differences in body areas.
Body viability or whatever.
And in a different culture, you could be very rude because, like I can't remember what culture it was, but if you've got your legs out, if you step over other people's legs, that's incredibly rude, and you have to actually kind of go, which means move your legs.
Oh, okay.
So I can go through.
I can walk.
So my point is, in a different cultural setting, you might be that person that you're worried about.
Red-haired, white-skinned, freckled kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The literal red-headed stepchild.
Literal.
My favourite is the distance you have to be to somebody, and that's, according to some article I was reading, that seems to be based on the population
density.
Where
So
you grew
to
up.
be honest, the thing that used to annoy the shit out of me
Personal space.
at university is you'd be like going to buy some food and you're like looking in the you're looking in the display at the food, and people just walk right in fucking front of you.
Yeah.
Right in your, it's like, what, like we were this far away from each other. What are you fucking doing?
And they're thinking, why is this rude person claiming the space that I'm in?
Well, there's a queue to get served, and they're like wandering, going.
The only thing I hate more than a queue is a place, and this happens when I go and pick up my diabetes medicine. There's like 3 places where stuff gets dispensed. Like, so you can line up in 1 or 3 places. But yeah, like, I stood there for like 20 minutes, not being served by anyone, and then some kid, instead of standing on the circle that you're freaking supposed to, walked straight up to the glass, and the person walked up to them and went, yep, how can I help you? And I'm like, I've been here for like 20 minutes waiting for someone. I've been standing on the spot. Like, after he left, I went off. I just walked up and I went, so am I standing in the wrong spot? Like, what is going on? And I just thought, no, I'm just not rude enough to actually get served in this place.
Yeah, to be honest, I was in my not usual medical centre, and it's like, what is going on here? It's like,
It was actually,
if I don't barge in and demand shit, I don't get anything. Oh, this is great.
I remember seeing once a person from people from 2 different personal space cultures, and what was really funny was that this was the people who were reasonably comfortable with each other. It was at an event of some sort, but there was this weird dance-like movement, because what would happen is the person
one
with
would
the
be
smaller
backing
bubble
off.
would go into the bubble, and they'd be completely unconscious of that, and the other one would be backing out without equally unconscious, and so they'd actually be rotating around the room.
Okay.
Let's go
Anyway,
back to it.
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
That was
that's
at
all
least
right. No, I've been
partially
wanting to
my
vent about that for ages, because that really upset me earlier in the week. It's like, what, really? Why don't people get stuff? Okay, so As you're looking back at this hulking-like creature, what you haven't noticed is the abbot and Ludwig have moved into the hospital. But as you walk in, the abbot turns and sees that Irene is not following sort of that closely, and turns to you, and he goes, "She'd be quite perfect, perfect. So what we actually need is her to have, like, she's let me think, she's not complete. She's missing her memories. Her memories. We could, yes, the face. We could have the face. The face would work. The face on Vasilka, the face and the soul. We could transplant, but without the memories, it would be not complete.
I don't think Strahd would be happy.
Why?
Because she's already complete except for her memory.
No, persuasion check. Persuasion check.
He's already got her eyes on her.
Persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Yep.
I'm actually rather good at persuasion.
Amazing. Must be your mesmerizing gaze.
These numbers are getting smaller. It's a +5. 16 plus 5 is 21.
Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Surely 21's good enough for whatever's going on.
Oh, I gotta give him a
I should put my Apple TV to Snoopy's Bobo's properly. How do you go do that?
Speedy Bobo.
Let me just find it.
That's a +5.
By waking it up and then putting it back to sleep again in such a way that it shuts the television down.
I've persuaded him his life's work is useless and he will now activate the
So what'd you
self-destruct
get?
button.
What'd you get? 21.
Oh, 21.
So what did you actually say then? Oh, that she is enough.
Yes, and the Strahd has already taken interest in her.
Yes, perhaps you're right. Perhaps, but
He might get upset if you, pull her apart.
do you think, but the problem is,
Yes.
let me think, the problem is, every 100 or so years, Tatiana seems to embody a new vessel.
Yes.
That's all it is. A vessel. It's not anything but. And I've created a vessel. And the thing is that these vessels, they get old. And some things, they're very frail. And they die. And this has happened over hundreds and hundreds of years. And we're in the same predicament that we always have been. And something needs to change. And I have constructed a vessel that will not die. So if we embody that vessel with the soul and with the face, surely you must understand.
But vampires don't die.
Yes, I know.
But Tatiana.
But she will. She will get old, and with her, and he will lose interest, and we will be in the same predicament.
But not if we turn her into a vampire.
Do you think?
Oh, it's easy.
And now he outs himself to a total stranger.
Yes.
This
could be
matters.
the answer.
But I think Strahd has already thought of it.
What should we do then? What should we do? You have lost something. Let me help you find it.
Aha!
There it is. Yes? As you think about that, the spacious chamber contains bed frames of wrought iron arranged in 2 neat rows. Cobwebs and bits of rotten mattress cling to each frame. 3 doors are spaced along the south wall, each with a plaque mounted on it.
Oh.
From west to east, the plaques read, operating room, nursery, morgue. Do you think this would work? Do you think you can come back now if you... And his voice gets lower as you say.
So this hospital doesn't have any patients.
No,
It
you
has
don't
a
see one of
nursery.
those.
I would assume that Strahd has already taken this into account, being a vampire who can create other vampires.
Yes, but...
If that's part of the law, I see.
But...
I know he's presumably done this numerous times already.
But maybe he doesn't want Tatiana whole
I think
and alive.
with Tatiana, yes. I
I
had
should not have made that observation as Irene, by the way. Nor would
I had actually noticed. Do you notice when slightly her scarf falls that she has marks on her neck?
Oh yes, she's already been busy.
So I think if he wanted to turn her, he would have already done it.
No,
So-
I think he wants her agreement.
Roll on persuasion. Doing very well. You can roll with advantage because he already believed you the first time.
Oh, well, so I could do 2 rolls and choose the
Yeah, choose
lowest
the
one. Okay, I just got 15.
Okay.
I just got 14.
Okay.
Well, I'll go with 15 plus 5 is 20.
That's got to be good.
That depends how well he rolls. Oops, it's got.
What's he rolling?
he
His
seems-
skepticism roll.
No, he's rolling against because he's persuading him. So then he rolls against, like whether he believes him or not. He's trying to convince him. He doesn't seem as convinced this time. He seems to really think. And he goes, something to think about. Does he want her as an undead construct? Does he want her alive? Does he want her to live forever?
Yes,
How do we free this land? How to proceed? How to proceed? I think it might be best we wait.
Yes,
We wait.
waiting is best.
We wait. You need to look after Irina.
Oh, yes.
Sure. Then, possibly when you return, I might have more answers. I will give it more thought. I thought I will keep on working on the Silka.
Of course.
So we can have this as a backup plan. And yes, at last, somebody who understands what I need to do, understands where I am going with this. And he turns around and you don't know whether he says it to you or whether he's thinking out loud, but he looks at you and goes, very lovely. Yes, lovely.
Creepy.
But
I'm not sure I trust you either.
Why?
yes, I delay. Let's
Yes.
through.
Yes,
through
the tour.
this way. Through.
Is this
yes,
the abbot
through,
talking?
yes. Through this way.
This way.
And he leads you to the door that says operating room.
Okay.
Operating room.
Okay. He opens the door, and in this operating room, you see it has a long stainless steel table, a really
Oh, but it's
heavy,
stainless
almost
steel.
like dentist chair-like solid sort of construct. It has a bench with a whole lot of tools laid out on it, medical surgical tools. But in this chair is a woman who looks, for all intents and purposes, like she's a Vistani because she's in very colourful clothing, so it's clothing that you've recognised before.
Okay.
She sits back of the chair and her arms are strapped to the chair and her head is strapped back in the chair and she can only move her eyes and she darts her eyes
Oh, she is
over
alive.
towards, yes, she darts her eyes over towards the door as you come in and also what you notice is that she has a chin strap which has her mouth open and you go, yes, next patient is ready. I thought I was about to heal the patient when I was sent for, and it was you. Yes, something her village.
Her village?
Her village wants me to take care of. She is a compulsive liar. It is quite true.
Yes.
It is the tongue that lies, not the soul. Yes. So I do need a Vasilka cannot speak. I need a tongue, and she does not need hers.
I am so
for
drawing my
lies.
sword.
Except you're not, because you're not hearing this, are you?
No, my character
We can-
Irina is.
We can cure two people.
So you're
at
hearing
once.
them
We can
bathroom
cure.
for your soul.
We can cure and aid Vasilka. We'll give her the art of speech and remove this terrible curse from this woman. Poor thing. And without a tongue, she will no longer be able to spread gossip and lies. Please assist me in
She's
in doing
Vistani?
this. Yes. She is.
I thought they were protected.
much so.
Under the personal protection of
Yes.
Strahd, no less.
Yes, this
Oh,
will help.
I didn't know we
This,
knew this.
Sure.
this, oh, definitely. Have you not seen my other work? Legs that are stronger than the previous ones. Wings that allow a person to have flight when before they can't have flight. So, and they wish to soar in the heavens with the birds.
Yes, but those other patients were lepers, were they not?
Ailments. Yes.
Whereas this is more of a moral condition.
Yes.
Perhaps it would be better if you handed it over to us for tutelage rather than apply a medical solution.
Interesting. What do you think? What do you think you could do?
Well, as a noble myself,
Big
I am
bull crap one of your
I'm
skills.
yes, it is actually. I am an expert in etiquette and deportment and of course behaviour.
But speech. I can not imagine that Strahd would want such a construct that he could not converse with and Vasilka at the moment.
But at the moment,
lack of face, lack
Yes,
of tongue,
but at the
lack
moment,
of voice.
it's in doubt. I mean, after all, if you're going to actually take the face of the dear lady over here, wouldn't you
Yes.
take her tongue anyway?
No.
Which dear lady are we referring to now? Someone's going to get stabbed to death real fucking soon.
Peter is hard. He's trying, real hard.
I know.
Can I just say, I'd like to give him some sort of medal for
Oh, yeah,
role-playing.
yeah.
I'm walking a talk.
I know,
Yeah, I
I'm not
know
actually.
it.
I'm trying to talk him out
I
of
know,
taking
I know.
your face and taking your tongue.
I know. The only someone who's going to get stabbed to death is the abbot.
But
We
we
might
need
need
him to bring your character
I'm not
back to
going
life.
to let you
We-
mutilate this gypsy woman in front of me. That's not a thing that's about to happen.
Does Arena understand
Prisoner.
that he's doing everything
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can?
yeah. Irena's not going to.
Actually, why don't you roll on perception to see if you can understand maybe what he's doing?
Okay.
We'll role play it.
Okay.
Because at the moment you're getting nervous thinking about maybe he wants
Wow,
to
I did not do well. 4 plus perception is 8.
You're starting to think that maybe he's in cahoots with the abbot. And you're
Well-
starting to feel a little bit unsafe.
Only
I
a little
have a
bit.
suggestion.
Yes.
How about you allow the young lady to travel with us, and then she'll be travelling with Irina Tatina.
She
And
lies.
then-
She not trustworthy.
That's right.
We're used to dealing with lies.
Yes,
Yes, perhaps.
it might help
Perhaps.
with like a transference if they get to know each other.
Yes.
You know, like a sympathetic
Yes.
magic, maybe.
Yeah, yes, sympathetic is a
And
thing.
you believe the voice, the face, the soul.
Well-
we could take these from Irina. We could put them in Vasilka, and we could have like the
This is happening in front of.
the ultimate like construct for Strahd, and he would once be freed from his curse, and the land would be freed.
After all, as you said, it's probably best to wait. So if she travels with us, what is lost? You'll still have to wait anyway.
Perhaps, I guess.
And of course, we are going to return to revive our friend.
Okay, one final persuasion check.
I might have to use that special roll.
Ooh,
Yeah.
does that work for persuasion? It does.
You can add it to whatever he wants.
I'm going to use that special roll.
Isn't it a D10,
D10.
Peter?
It's
Oh,
a
it's a
D10. You
D10.
roll a D10 and add it to whatever your
Did you
D20
just roll a
was.
1 on the D20, by the way?
Damn right.
Okay.
Oh, God, there's
That's
not.
right. Still can.
Oh god, it's a 3. Sorry.
Plus your persuasion.
Oh, it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, you're lucky. I rolled a freaking 2.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No, the person who's really lucky here is the abbot, because he'd be very soon trying to hold his guts in.
Perhaps
The abbot kebabs.
I can see. Perhaps with more experience for Irina, more experience for. I could always get someone else if this doesn't work. I could always get someone. All right. Yes, perhaps. So he moves over to the chair, and this woman looks absolutely terrified, and he says to her,
The faceless lady.
So,
No, the gypsy.
It's just a
The
gypsy
gypsy
lady.
distracted
Just a
gypsy.
lady in a torture
Wouldn't know.
chair. Haven't you been paying
Open.
attention?
You're with the faceless lady. We with the lady who's still got all her bits.
She's still got all her bits. She was going to lose her tongue,
Yeah.
but we have maybe talked him out of it.
he
Oh, I thought you were
How long
going to.
Fresno can keep this up?
Well, I did wonder if Fresno was going to say, her tongue for hers.
Bargain! How do you
So-
think I get a date?
he walks over to the chair and he starts loosening the straps, and he looks at this woman who looks obviously terrified, but he doesn't seem to be phased.
No, of course not.
He looks and he goes, I am sorry. You will have to remain with your affliction. These people believe it is the best way. I wish I could have cured you, but perhaps spending some time with them might help, as he has suggested. So, and he just loosens the last strap when this bell rings out, like from outside in sort of the courtyard or above the courtyard area. This bell, dong,
Does that mean it's feeding time again?
like it just rings and rings. Once again, he doesn't appear phased.
Oh, I thought he'd respond to that.
The woman holds her hands up to her ears because it's so loud, particularly up where you are, the opposite, and it is quite loud for you guys. Willpower check.
I was about to say, there must be affecting us in some way.
Am I in a place where I can hear this?
Yes, but it's since you're behind like a closed door and you're downstairs, it's not as loud.
Oh, what is my willpower?
Do I still need to roll for it though?
There you go.
Where's willpower?
I can't even follow.
Still the
So
skill.
your skill, no, your abilities down the side, and you've got
Skills? Or
Wisdom?
hang on, wisdom. Oh, hang on, no.
Wisdom? I rolled a 19. I'm excited. You said willpower.
It's not a saving throw.
Could it
We'll make it.
be?
Constitution. Oh, we'll just make it a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, wisdom. Where's my wisdom on?
You've got a
Like
0
that.
modifier.
Excellent, I rolled 19.
19.
I
Yeah,
got a
you're
total
alright.
of 18
You're
after
alright.
adjustments.
It's loud, but you're alright. But once again, the abbot doesn't. But from downstairs, where you'd heard all like the screams and everything, you hear this cacophony of food,
Right.
all in different kind of pitches and tones and everything. And the abbot goes,
It's a second breakfasts.
and he looks at both of you and goes, feeding time.
Oh my god, what's he going to feed them?
Meat scraps.
Body scraps.
Please stop.
Well, yeah, they have been. I mean, they've been stealing far more bodies than he's been using, I assume.
Oh,
And
Alright.
most of those were children's bodies, so you.
That's
you
making
know,
it better. Really much better.
You know, why would he be stealing children to create a grown woman?
Birkenau, the role-playing game.
Well, we knew that. Welcome to the firm.
Which one did Mengele work in? Sachsenhausen?
Auschwitz.
Auschwitz, the role-playing game.
Alright, jumping back to slightly urban.
Oh no, they're getting
Are you
fed.
ready?
No, that wouldn't have never happened in Auschwitz.
Switching to you guys.
Ouch. That
So
went dark.
as I said, Ray,
Isn't it?
all
Well, it's pretty
you see
fucking
is
dark
Jeanne,
already.
you see the book flip, and you see her eyes roll back in her head, and her hands are trembling as she's holding this quite heavy volume. You are holding a golden disc that he has passed you to get this out. Okay, so
The abbot passed me that?
no.
No, just you and me are in this room.
Right.
I took the gold
Oh, no.
balls, gave it to you. I took out the book, I looked at the book, got mesmerised.
Okay.
Also in this room is Vasilka, but she hasn't moved, and she has
He hasn't
her
got a tongue or
back
a face.
facing Urban.
I doubt she has any will of her own.
Also, we've
Or a
got
tongue.
Saxon's character
Or a
is
tongue.
with you
Or a
as well.
face.
But he's asleep on the table.
Who needs
I
a
give the
face?
gold thing to Saxon,
Hang on, didn't she
Yep.
speak?
and I
when we first
carefully
met her?
see if I can remove
From
the
somewhere
book
deep
from
inside her.
Urban's character.
How the hell did she do that?
Okay.
Best not to think about it, really.
Strength check.
11.
Okay, no, he's really got it. It's even though it seems to be just in his open palms, it's actually quite solid in there. So, Urban, you hear a voice that says, "I, Strahd, Lord of Barovia, well aware certain events of my reign have been desperately misunderstood by those who are better at garbling history than recording it, hereby set down an exact record of those events, that the truth may, at last, be known."
I was a beautiful
All I can
child.
think is, dear diary.
I was
Then-
a young Winston.
None of the girls at school understand me.
I'm the most beautiful
No,
boy in
don't lie.
class, and they don't like me.
They're all high.
They're all jealous or gay.
Let me continue on.
Yes.
Urban, his voice continues. "I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past." And that's where we left it last time.
Yep, I remember this.
This image of the man disperses into a black and red cloud before reforming into a young boy no older than 12. With a small sword at his side and tears streaming down his cheeks, the mist recedes further, revealing a well-adorned, sunlit castle courtyard. The low buzz of insects and humidity add weight to the summer air. Hanging on the ramparts overhead are red banners depicting the same raven iconography cast in metal on the front cover of the tome. So this. The boy that stood before you moments ago now sits atop a small set of stairs leading to a wooden door. From beyond it, you can hear distant but boisterous laughter.
Hang on, what? Boys?
Oh, sorry,
Boisterous
boisterous laughter.
Oh,
Boisterous. That makes more sense.
So you're standing, you're probably about 10, 15 feet from him. So this boy looks like he's...
Stab him now and save us all the trouble.
Don't think it works that way.
I think it's just a hollow novel that I'm supposed to interact with.
I think this is some ancient event that might well tell us something about the
This-
nature of Strahd.
This sounds so much like the second book of Harry Potter.
Does it?
Yeah,
Not really.
the basilisk.
So how far am I?
You're about 15 feet away.
Maybe you can ask
From him.
questions.
Am I the only one here with him?
Yes, you can hear other people that are inside
Oh, okay.
the
Being
castle.
boisterous.
He is outside, sitting on the steps,
And he's a
crying.
sad little boy.
Yeah.
He's a sad little boy. Something bad.
And he's crying. As you
He's
stand,
crying?
yeah.
Oh.
And as you
I
stand
can't give him a
there,
tissue.
looking at him, you feel something sting your hand. And as you look down, you can see that there has been some sort of flying creature, and as it is left and taken off, and you've attempted to swat it, when you've noticed that it has taken like a small chunk of skin out of
Like a
your
March
hand.
fly. Now you are undead.
So does the boy
He
know I'm
has,
here?
no, it doesn't. He doesn't appear to know that you were there.
You
He's
are
kind of
seeing
looking
a
at
vision.
looking at the ground. He has a wooden sword.
Just got bitten.
That's true. It's not a
Next to
vision,
him.
but it is a vision. But it isn't.
Can I go and give him a handkerchief to cry into?
All right. So as you move towards him, he does in fact look up, but then you notice, which surprises you about yourself, you're not dressed
And all.
like
as a woman?
like you are in
This is one of those.
in
things.
the Abbey of St. Markovia. In fact, you're still female. You're wearing a dress, but it is brightly coloured.
You're now his mother.
You don't. You're not wearing you know how you normally wear your veil? You're not wearing any veil. In fact, you don't have any head covering at all. You have long brown hair that's tied back in a ponytail.
So you're normally dressed as a ring wraith. Okay.
While he's thinking about that, as
That's a
you're
Peter.
watching him,
Yeah.
no, sorry, I'm talking to Ray now. So Ray, when you tried to grab the book, and when you pull your hands away, you have on your left hand, you have a trail of blood on your left hand, but you are not cut. That you can see.
Can I see where the Xi'an is bleeding?
Okay, so as you look down under where it's holding the book,
Little vampire
she
bait.
is bleeding from her hand.
Let me have a look at the
You've
vampire.
said that before.
Redhead.
Yeah, vampire bat. Do you often go wandering out at night?
That's true.
That'll teach her.
Did I get the impression that I caused that?
How dare she have an independent
Perception
life?
check.
What are you doing over there, Jono? Writing an essay?
I realised suddenly that
I have a
I'm
perception
due
check
to do devotions at the
So my
elders,
perception is
Oh.
10.
elders meeting
Oh no, so you
tomorrow
modify
morning
your
at 6.
perception
So I
Modifier.
thought I'd better have something ready.
Or you got a modifier of 10.
It's under skill.
You might. That's it.
Well, there's a passive wisdom
No,
and
not that
perception.
one. No, that's so if I
So is it
roll
something
an
about
Another,
garden
another
against
perception.
creatures
Okay,
of
I've
the
got
night?
15.
minus 1. 15?
No,
Ah,
I
so
don't
you
have,
got
I
four.
don't, no, I don't
About
have minus
avoiding
1, I
being-
have 15. I have
Being
0.
robbers or hired
Oh,
men.
okay, that's
and
performance.
the
No, you
secret
don't
like
think you
to
caused
be
it.
shepherd.
Too late for me.
You're not sure what caused it, but you don't believe you caused it.
Is there much blood?
No. No, he's not like bleeding out or anything. You kind of look at it and go, kind of, where did that come from? And you can kind of move into that hand, and then when you check, it's almost like it's stopped, but it's still there. But you don't. There's nothing sharp on your hands that you think by trying to pull the book would have caused that. Plus, since you were trying to pull the book from that hand, it looks like he's bled from this part. So. All right. So, Xian, you get closer. And as you get closer, the young boy looks up and he seems to be surprised that he didn't hear someone coming. And he looks at you and says, "Hello?"
I'll give him a hanky and why are you crying?
Why are you crying? Man up!
He takes the handkerchief and he says, "Thank you," and he starts to wipe his eyes, and he says,
Oh God.
Never mind.
Rahadin believes I'm a failure, but I'm trying my best.
Who's Radin?
That's a good question.
I only know-
Radadin, Lord of the Haradine. He's one of the ring wraiths.
I'm thinking he's his sword master or something similar. Maybe he has a wooden sword.
Yeah.
So-
Was it a wooden sword?
Yes.
Oh,
What do you say?
I said, who's Radin and what are you failing at?
My father has employed him to teach me in sword and
Maybe he's got a Spanish
Oh.
accent.
He's got an Arabic name.
I'm not very good at it, but I am trying my best.
Not today.
So you want to be a swordsman?
I definitely. My father is an excellent swordsman, and I wish to be just like him.
Fair enough.
That is a really pretty dress.
Thank you.
Are you Vistani?
Yep.
Someone's crying in this
Do you like
conversation.
this riding bloke?
He's. I'm gonna roll and find out. Not much.
Rodin.
I guess.
Radadin?
I guess he wants the best for me, but I think he is too cruel.
You know, all teachers are cruel.
I
You
hear that.
gotta be cruel to be kind.
Too cool to be
But I
kind.
honestly believe he pushes me too hard.
Why do you think that?
Because I get hurt sometimes.
Yeah, that's how it
But how are you going to learn otherwise?
Or persuasion check.
Go on.
Why does he say that?
No.
Persuasion check.
Oh, okay. I have to persuade him to answer my question. Is that
You were
what's going
trying to tell him to. It's good to get beaten by your teacher. It's apparently what you're trying to tell him.
on?
You mean Adolf Hitler is a 4-year-old?
His beatings are a form of love.
Got to
Remember,
fight!
kids, a smack is just a hug that hurts.
Wouldn't have convinced me either.
Okay. He says, I think he's just mean. After he says that, you can hear that there are. So he's sitting on the steps, and then behind the door, which is a very heavy wooden door, you can hear at least 2, possibly 3 adults that are having a conversation behind that door as well.
So I can continue talking to him? Nothing
Yep,
else is
sure.
going to change? Alright.
Sorry?
Well, you could try and listen at the door, I guess. There's an idea, maybe. I don't know.
So is this Rodden guy a good teacher or a bad teacher then?
My father says he's the best.
Do you trust your father?
Yes, I do.
Oh, this is a better line of inquiry.
But
You know, sometimes when you're trying to learn stuff, you do fail. It is the way you learn sometimes. That's part of learning.
I guess so. Are you any good with a sword?
Nope.
That's a shame.
No, I'm a gypsy.
You're here to steal your horse.
I'm good at stabbing people when their backs are turned.
My father says that Vistani are good at many things.
We are. We like to specialise now.
Then what are you good at?
So. Like yourself, I don't quite know yet. Still learning.
Stealing horses.
Evil gypsies.
You're quite lucky. At least you have a teacher. I don't have a teacher. So
What would you need a teacher for?
I have to learn something.
To read and write and eat with a fork.
And today we're going to
Can I ask your name?
with a fork.
My name's Strahd von Zarovich.
I thought Strahd was his last name.
No, von Zarovich.
Von Zarovich.
I one day hope to be lord of this land, like my father.
Oh,
Are we in Moldavia right now? No, we are in Borovia.
If you don't become
Well,
a
fun.
brilliant swordsman,
Hmm.
what will happen?
But I need to. I'm the first in line.
So
My
yeah.
mother is already pregnant again,
Ooh.
but she is not well at the moment. But we believe that she is pregnant with a boy.
Oh.
I'm very excited to meet my brother.
I can just hear the pathos here.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 11.
Is that young to learn to be a swordsman?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to start.
I just found out he's got a younger brother.
Well, you need to learn before the younger brother is a swordsman.
My father says it's my job to teach my younger brother everything that I learn, that I will be in charge of him.
Are you only learning to be a swordsman?
No, I'm learning many things,
Oh, like
or at
what?
least I hope to.
Like what?
I hope to learn to rule and be a good ruler, like my father is.
Are you or have you ever been a vampire? Yeah, I know.
What?
Sorry.
To 11-year-old. I don't know whether he's actually answering the questions, or I have to be more
It's an interactive.
cross-examining.
It's an interactive hologram. I think this
Yeah.
this is just here to find out information. So
The question is, what can we learn here?
Well, look, we've learned he had a younger brother.
We know
had
his
a
full
younger
name,
brother.
just in case we didn't know
His
that
mother
before.
sick. She's probably died in
I
childbirth.
think you would have heard that before.
Maybe.
well, he's going to teach his younger brother everything. So maybe
His younger brother.
We
Yeah,
might
but
come
he's
across
first in
it.
line, so he gets the.
yeah.
the
But
throne.
if his younger brother's still wandering around everywhere, some sort of vampire, maybe we
Where's
can find
the
out about
prophecy?
But he's not a vampire.
Oh, hang
now.
on.
Where's the prophecy?
Yeah, but who knows what happened? Did the entire family become vampires?
Where's it gone? It's on the back of my character sheet, but that's
Well, I assume when he
Carrick's
fails as a
character sheet.
swordsman, he becomes a vampire.
There's something about there's a sleeping warrior or something, isn't there? That might actually be his brother.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm thinking. That's where I'm going right now.
What's it say about the sleeping
I
warrior?
don't know. If I had my old character sheet, I'd have it written on the back, but I don't.
I did have that written on the back. Hang on. Maybe I had it written back again. Yeah. I had it written somewhere.
Can I ask you something, Strahd? What do you think would make you a better swordsman?
More practice. Perhaps a better teacher, but I dare not tell my
Oh,
father.
hang on. It's this one. The original sheet.
Sounds like you don't trust your teacher, but your dad thinks your teacher is good. But you trust your dad.
But you did say that teachers are sometimes harsh.
I think teachers are always harsh and always mean.
Oh, hang on.
I suspect that they feel they have to be like that to help you overcome your problems.
Do you think I should trust my teacher then?
I don't know. I've never met your teacher, but if you trust your father and he trusts your teacher, seems like a good idea.
I'm just worried about living up to my father's expectations. Maybe it's too much.
I've got enemy lead to Strahd, look to the mother's tomb.
Right, the mother's tomb.
Parents
But-
always have high expectations of us.
I've also got Shed Light, Templar, Child Vistani history.
Oh, I think the child of Vistani is probably going to be Irina.
I think it's the girl we've just found in the...
Oh, could
Because
be.
she is a Vistani, whereas we're not sure about Irina.
Exactly, that's the thing. We're not sure it's a mystery box, therefore it's a mystery. Now,
Don't forget I'm Vistani.
Well, we've got 3 Vistani now. 3 expendable women.
stop it.
We
You
can
don't have a
expend
full
2
house
of them
yet.
and have 1 left.
This is not a thing we have to solve right now. These two are having an
Yeah.
interaction that we are interposing ourselves upon.
If you guys can think of any good data drawing questions, I'm
well,
more than open to.
So the brother hasn't been born yet, so that's not something to go for.
I wouldn't mind trying to convince a kid that he, doesn't have to go.
What was the
Crazy
story
trying to
about
impress his
the
dad.
sword that I'm supposed to be after? Whose sword was it?
Weapon, sword of the sun.
Something made him turn
sunlight.
into Strahd.
Brother,
Well,
oh,
I
brother
think we
of
should-
darkness, servant of the light.
There you go.
So we're getting. I think
There may well
we've
be a
got at least
brother.
2 references to
Yeah,
his
yeah.
brother here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just
Yeah.
file that aside. Only thing I can think of right now is something about. So he's very worried about living up to his father, but I think honestly,
Radadan or whatever his name is.
if I was actually advising a real human as opposed to a proto-vampire, right? I would actually be saying, well, you're going to be your own person. You're not going to be your father.
That is true. Well, you're going to be your own person. You're not going to be your father.
Do you really think so?
You can learn a lot from your father, and you can even learn a lot from this mean guy. What's his name? Robin.
Radadin.
Radadin.
Okay, Radadin.
You can learn a lot from them, but eventually you will be your own man
Ask him where
woman,
Radadin comes
Can
from.
you
Or other.
or other.
roll another perception check?
And a 6 this time. Rolling well, but not now.
With your modifier?
Type of meatloaf.
I don't think so. It comes in bulbs. 2 bulbs of Whitloff.
Evan, just because the guy's got a name, try and find out a bit more about this Radadin guy.
Do you want to tell
You
me?
hear-
sorry.
From the other side of the door, you hear like just you can't hear the whole conversation, but on that roll, like you hear snippets. You hear this deep voice, very deep voice, and you hear this deep voice saying, "Needs to be great and powerful ruler." But then you hear this second voice that is not as deep, but still like the voice of a man. But he says, "Far too young." And that's all you seem to pick up.
I have
Is
some
it- is
questions
that
which
your
I would
father?
ask if I was there.
Well, if you've got ideas, I'm quite happy
Well,
to
ask more about this.
Is the
brother
are the
guy.
voices in any way familiar? Like, do they sound like?
Well, I did the perception.
I
I'm
get-
assuming you would have told me if they were
True.
familiar voices. I was a kid. Are those voices? Is that your teacher
Oh, so
and your father?
they've been going at it for a while. Rahadin is arguing with my father. My father insists that I be pushed harder, and Rahadin is saying that I can't do it, but I am trying. I'm quite embarrassed that I was crying when you found me. I don't want them to see me like this.
I can understand that.
I think I will try harder. I think I need to do it for, my mother believes in me. My mother believes that I will be a great ruler one day.
Sorry, John.
And I will look after my brother.
Which is good to look after your brother. I'm not being, but for some reason I need to do.
Well, after you've learned everything you can learn, you can only hope to be a good man.
I would just like to point out Radadin is the only character in this that has a name.
Oh, in this little
In
play.
this
Crazy you
little
keep remembering
thing you're having here, he's the only character that's been given a name.
What about
That's
Strahd?
what. Yeah, well,
No,
Strahd's
Strahd.
right in front of you.
You're picking up some vampire-y vibes from this guy.
Would a vampire have any way of recognising a vampire?
I don't think so. I mean, if the argument between the father and the teacher is father saying be harder, and the teacher, who he thinks already is mean, is saying I don't think this is appropriate, I don't think he's a bad guy in that situation.
No.
I don't know unless I'm missing something.
He's actually a necromancer from the deep south and will convert him into a vampire.
Necromancer, y'all. Oh no, that's sort of.
Because all guys by the name of Rahadin in a fantasy game are necromancers. Everyone.
That's because they're Arabs.
Exactly, all Arabs are necromancers. All fantasy Arabs are
How did
necromancers.
Dracula become Dracula?
Well, he was walking down the road one day,
Big
and he
guy,
saw a
big
mushroom. And he, that's a nice mushroom. I wonder what time it is. So he went home to his library. And he pulled out his book, giant book of fungi.
It's never
This could
mentioned
go on
in
for
the
a long
novel.
time.
And then halfway through the book, he got
He
bit
had
by a
an
bat.
onion on his belt because it was the style.
That's right. Hung a onion on our belts because it was the start of the time. Anyway.
Not a brand.
Any other advice I can offer this kid?
Well, I'd want more information about the brother, but the brother hasn't been born yet in this
Brother
period,
hasn't
so he
been
won't
born
know anything. So.
Appropriate. At this stage, there's very little information. He's an 11-year-old kid
No.
who's got a wooden sword trying to knock his beak to
You
death.
can only
Well,
ask
he also
about.
doesn't seem like a terribly horrible kid either.
No, so
No.
you got the father, the mother, or the Radadin.
Appropriate of nothing, kid. If you see a guy who looks, kind of, I don't know, vampire-ish, club him immediately to
Here,
death
I
with
want
your
you to
wooden
hold
sword.
this
Of
garlic.
this steak.
Yes, but unfortunately, this isn't time travel, so nothing we say here is going to affect anything.
Yeah, they're just
It's all about information.
Yes. So what other information can I glean from this situation?
At this point, as he's thinking, he's reflecting upon the things that you have said and about his teacher, and I know you haven't mentioned anything that you can hear about what they're talking about, and it doesn't look like he's heard what you've heard.
Right.
He does suddenly sort of in a way awakens to himself, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've been rude. You've obviously come all this way for something." And he stands up, and he bows slightly and says, "How may I help you?"
I don't
Oh,
need
Jesus.
anything.
Would you
I
consider
was just
committing
walking.
suicide?
Sheesh.
Once again.
Bit
He'll
dark.
come back as a vampire.
This,
I think the only thing
just
you can do for me is
information,
be a
yes,
good
okay.
king. Not bring darkness to the world. Always make it better instead of worse.
none of this is
at-
good because it's a hologram.
At this, you see that he has his wooden sword in his hand, and you see that his fist tightens around the sword, and two things happen at the same time. He looks at you and smiles, and he says, "I will try my very best." And then the door to the door that you heard the voices behind, you see open, and a man goes to step through when once again you see darkness sets in and the mist sets in, and then you hear, you can't see the boy Strahd anymore, you can't even see the figure of the man Strahd anymore, but you hear Strahd's voice say, "Yet that past is now filled only with regret." And your eyes snap open, and you are holding a book, and you can see that Shiana's back in the room with you. The book, once again, the pages flutter again, but then, like you can't control it, the book snaps shut, and you're holding a closed book.
So I can't open it again.
You try to open it, but you can't.
We should obviously just save this for later.
Yeah, you don't think it's used up?
Why would he write a diary and just have that in it?
Because that's
Why would you
what
write a
point
diary?
we're supposed to get.
It's a clue bat. Hang on to the clue bat.
No, we
But
should
you,
put
you
it.
said I can't open it. Like it's not like.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
one of
but-
us can
Oh,
have
no,
a go.
the reason I'm asking this is to say, if should I put it back so that Emma doesn't
we
know
need
it?
to keep it.
All right, then I put it in my
I
sack.
don't,
I
I, don't
hold it.
think, I don't think he opens this thing every day to check
Well,
the book's
put
still
put the
there.
gold thing back again. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and then
So-
I tell.
Shiana, apart from feeling slightly drained from the experience, like you've lost no hit points.
Oh,
or anything.
actually, maybe we should put it back.
You've lost no hit points, but you now have the ability to cast illusionary script. It's a ritual. So you can write on parchment, paper, or some other suitable writing material and imbue it with a potent illusion that lasts for the duration. You and any other creatures you designate when you cast the spell, the writing appears normal, written in your hand, and convey whatever meaning you intend when you wrote the text. To all others, the writing appears as if it were written in an unknown or magical script that is unintelligible. Alternately, you can cause the writing to appear to be in an entirely different message, written in a different hand and language, though the language must be one you know. Should the spell be dispelled, the original script and the illusion both disappear. A creature with true sight can read the hidden message.
Ooh.
You're now possessed by 9-year-old Strahd.
I don't understand.
You have magic writing.
You did good. You get rewards.
You got to
I don't
cast.
understand.
Now you can cast that ritual.
But what does this mean?
You're possessed by Satan.
You can write secret messages that only you and the people you designate can read.
And everybody else can get misinformation or no information.
For
Unless
everyone else, it either says something specific.
You can
So I
create.
can write something down that
You
only.
can create psychic paper.
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Yes.
Anybody who has the ability to do that
True sight.
true sight thing can read it as
They,
well.
they can read through the illusion, but
All right.
no
Have
one
I got a
else can.
paper and pencil? Can I do this now?
No, I don't know. Why? What did you want to write?
I want to write a message for if someone.
Rip a page out of that book.
I can't open the book.
the entire book. They only take about 10 years.
The beginning is a villain.
But can I write some? Yeah, I'll get a piece of
Make
paper
up your
and a
own.
pencil.
Make up your own Ravenloft
I'm going to
fanfic.
write down on a piece of paper, right, that
Replace the book with Ravenloft fanfic.
has been sending me messages, like mental
The
messages.
Strahd looks at me.
I don't want to.
Someone's living through
I don't want him
Why
to
has
know
it
that
got
I'm
so
letting
much-
you know this.
gay stuff in it.
But
Gay
then want you to
romance. I
know
don't
in
remember
case
that being there
something happens to
previously.
me. Does this make sense?
Also, why is it written from the point of view of the person who's talking to
He basically has said that
instead of
he recognised
just Strahd himself?
Before.
Technically, it wouldn't be gay because he's a woman.
I have no idea what any of that means because I don't have any memories of
Women are allowed to be gay, dude.
Yeah, but if he's doing Strahd fanfic, it's him interacting with Strahd, isn't it?
Who knows what it is?
So I've written that down for you.
I
But
don't
I've got-
think
did
that's
you know that?
stupid.
Maybe Ranadan's a woman.
I have a feeling we just
Actually,
put more
Trying
thought
not
into
to
the
let
idea of
Abbott know. I don't know
Strahd
if Abbott can
fanfic
read my mind,
than we have
so
into
that's
actually
why-
listening to what.
It feels like if I
I
don't
think
let
we've
the
missed.
Abbott,
I feel
if
like
you,
we've missed
if
an
the Abbott
opportunity.
thinks you don't know,
But I don't know what we
you
were
might
going
ask.
to get.
I know.
And then I'll tell you what happened in the Strahd Hollow novel. I'll actually tell you, but I don't think I've done. Write it
Reading.
down.
You'll kill who I kill and eat who I.
So you and
At the end of which, my immediate reaction is, sorry, I'm missing something. What's a hollow
Hero for
novel?
wine and
Melvish.
No, what happened
Oh, right.
in the novel.
Did I ever find out what happened? What was on in the well?
Oh. No, you didn't. You didn't
we-
go and
we
stick
can-
your head in.
Oh, we haven't got to that yet.
Oh,
we,
no.
we
We're
also
about to
put
get
the
to
gold
that.
thing back in the.
Okay.
It's Jeremy.
I put the potion and the gold thing back on in the.
It's
on the
H.P.
wall.
Lovecraft.
And you
game.
put the
I
tone
read
in
years and years ago. Featuring
your
Jeremy
barrel.
in the well.
Yeah.
Jeremy was in the well.
Sounds like something out of
He came up and fed on the orphans.
Jeremy needed to stay in the well.
Jeremy in the well with the orphans. Sounds
So-
like something out of stuff.
And I wrote down that.
Yeah.
Hooray! That about Abbott talking to me.
Sure.
What did the Abbott say?
That he remembers me from before. Hang on, but
So the
more
Abbott's actually
accurately.
been telepathically talking to.
Remembers you from before?
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I sent
don't
him
know.
that via text message.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So
I
we're
seem to have
starting-
some. Remember, I don't have a
Telling-
memory
no,
of
he's
some of the
telling
serious path that.
Did you used to work for Strahd and don't realise it?
Oh, I knew him when he was a kid. When he was about 11.
We were like this.
He broke my fingers.
So the abbot said to me, "Welcome home, and long have I watched you and waited for your arrival. But I'm only telling Ray this in written form because I don't want it given away to the abbot that I've let him know. I just want someone to know in case something else happens to me. So then Ray can tell you guys.
You're a reincarnation of Strahd's brother.
Oh, I hope so. Strahd's brother with the gypsy.
So,
And everybody else is
You have to steal your horse.
so, Urban, what you kind of got from the tome, and after closing you tried to open it again and it wouldn't open, is you kind of worked out that obviously it is a magical book. But you feel like the spell that the book casts in order to send you to a place has a duration, and therefore think of it in terms of like it has to recharge.
So maybe
Yeah,
can
we are
use
using
it in
it.
the future.
Yeah.
We'll get snippets as it's appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. This is a clear back, and we'll get it in bits.
A witch.
But we are
At points
also
when
we
you
are also of the
jam.
belief this is a hollow novel, not just time travel.
You
No,
don't-
it's not time travel. It's a hollow novel.
Take another perception check.
I'm doing really well with my check.
Oh, if it was a time travel device, we could use it to hide all sorts of weaponry.
13.
in this-
Better than last
castle,
13.
which would then be used against us.
You believe the experience was
Oh god, I'm an idiot. I was
What?
using the wrong one. No, it's actually 20.
okay. While you're pretty sure it's not time travel, you're pretty sure that it is so real that anything that you suffered, let's say, while you're in this trance, would permanently affect you in real life.
Don't visit any battles.
I kind of thought when Ray tried to pull the book out of my hand, that was what insect biting me. Have I still got the bite?
Actually, on a 20, when you look at your hand, yes, you do still have the bite.
And I'm assuming that was when Ray tried to move the book.
Well,
No, it's exactly like the one that the insect left behind.
What sort of insect was this?
it's.
He has big
I
chomping
figured it
fangs.
wasn't me who caused it.
Oh, okay. But I assume he
It's a
inside
very
that
rare
was the
scissor
book.
fly.
Yeah.
But you think it's simpler than that.
No,
It was
I
actually
think-
just wasn't called.
I think the book caused it, but not because I took it away.
You guys are going to have to catch a boat home, I think.
It's a possibility.
Okay.
Yes. Alright, Jono, so
Okay, right.
this is,
Way back when.
way back when. So it's after they've just gone through the.
Roger that.
You're going to have to meta play this because obviously you can't now tell me you bolt straight upstairs and then, you see the whole thing.
Okay.
So you're going to have to meta game.
Use fire.
What is meta game? Sorry.
Well, as in you know something in game and therefore you react knowing that something's already happened when you wouldn't have known that was going to happen.
Okay,
It's
right.
kind of meta. Yeah, like it's sometimes D&D players or like role-playing people do it until it's like, it's not fair.
I was only half listening to what happened with these guys, so does that
Yeah.
help?
But you know what I mean? You can't say, okay, now I changed my mind, I won't go to us, I'll run upstairs and follow them. When
Okay,
you
right.
weren't there, when
No,
we
that's
just had
fair.
that whole dialogue.
I'm happy to accept that my character got distracted by what he saw.
Yeah.
Besides, if you ran,
I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Okay.
So what are you going to do?
So I see something move in the well, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's odd, and so I go and have a look.
Okay. So you look down into the well. It looks it's really quite deep and it is quite dark down there.
Are there stones on the ground?
Yeah, there are small stones. Yeah, there are small stones around.
Okay.
Don't do it, Pippin.
All of it.
All of it.
I drop a small stone in and listen for it to hit.
Yep, you hear you go.
How long does it take?
It takes about 5-6 seconds.
oh, that's a deep
Okay,
well.
that's a big well, yes.
When
Okay,
does the
very,
troll
very
turn
good.
up?
Who are you? Oh, you!
You say that you see 3 red eyes just open
One man
and
Jeremy.
starts to rush up the
Ooh.
well.
I duck out of the way.
Okay. As you duck out of the way and you move back, you see
Well.
kind of like a half human, half spider creature appears just over the lip of the well.
She's
The
an
left side
abomination.
of her face appears human, but in place of her left hand there is what appears to be a frog's foot, and where her right foot would be seems to be instead a crow's foot.
Where does he get all these giant animals?
I was
mess
about to
with
say
people?
they're rather large. Yeah, this thing's quite small compared to
D&D
human.
world. Everything here comes in large versions if you look at it.
He's doing some magical
Expensive, though.
version of
Okay, I am freaked out to say the least, and I'm getting well back from whatever the hell this is.
Say it.
Well back from the well.
This thing, while blinking, because now it's come out into the light, she turns the face. It's almost like a Two-Face thing where there is a perfect human
Oh, wow.
face and a spider, kind of 3 eyes face. And she says, "My home, my home, my home."
The well is your home.
Yes, throw rubbish in my home.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to disturb you. I was merely trying to find out how deep it was.
Yes, my home it is.
My deepest apologies, ma'am. I won't do it again.
Home.
I'm apologising to a half human, half spider.
Where home?
House! Warehouse! Gone! Can you tell me?
Which?
Do it up.
I'm
And
moving back again.
Okay, as you move back, she doesn't move any further forward. And then as she slinks back, you hear her, and you don't even know whether you're supposed to sort of hear, but very softly, she says, "Alone, alone, alone," and crawls back
Oh,
down.
you just missed out on a date.
I'm sorry, I'm not in the market right now.
Jeremy,
It's not you, it's me.
Jeremy,
I'm working on re-establishing my sense of myself again.
Jeremy was a giant baby with hundreds of tentacles.
At that point where she was screaming, "Meow, meow," you see the other creature, the one that was tied to the post,
Yes.
the bat wings sort of open and start hitting the ground, and a heap of dust and stuff comes up, and the rattling of chains, and it pulls against the chains. And as it pulls against the chains, you can see that strips of skin have been worn away, and it's all red. And
Saxon would release her. You
Like
should
that.
do the same.
I'm not going to release her, but what I am going to do
Eat your
is I'm going to cast Cure Wounds. I'm looking at that thing. I don't know what else to do, but I can't stand to see that thing suffer.
That's a very decent thing to do.
okay. So how much does that cure?
1d8 plus.
Okay. Then
That's a very decent thing to do. What is wrong with you?
she's not going to resist it. I mean, she doesn't even know that it's going to happen. So I'm going to give her no attempt to resist it. So just roll the.
Imagine resisting healing.
Well. You know,
I know.
Yeah.
7.
okay.
Depends on how you get healed, Peter. Stay still while I smear peanut butter on your eyelids.
You can actually, she looks at her arms, and she sees that they start to, like, the skin starts to reform, and she seems really quite confused and like seems where, like, there was sort of madness, she's now very, very calm and seems to sort of relax sort of into it, and you can sort of get a sense that she's feeling better.
I'm sorry, I am way out of my depth and don't know what to do here. But the least I could do is lower some of your suffering.
My enemies, they hunt me
Which enemies are they?
unseen everywhere I go, watching me all the time, watching.
Don't think she goes very far.
Is the abbot one of your enemies?
Abbott has helped me with wings, but to fly, to be free, to not be chained.
She'll go and eat babies.
Oh my god, I've just got Castlevania flashbacks.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't told you about Castlevania. It's on
Netflix.
It's basically
Why has
Raven
the-
off the cartoon.
Why
my
has the abbot
fucking God.
changed you?
Not sure. Weird, I am. Strange. Some say deformed. Not. I am beautiful.
What were you before?
Not as beautiful. Leper. Deformed. Shunned. Feared.
Did you come from the village of Crest?
Yes. Family interest.
Oh, Jesus.
Got family interest.
Yeah.
That's what we brought you here.
Yes.
Oh, we'll see her again.
Lost a while ago. Bellevue's. I'm here with my sisters and brothers. We all came here for healing. We are, in some ways, better. We are grateful to the abbot.
And so,
There's no way you're leaving Carrickfergus here, by the way. Absolutely none.
I'm starting to form that opinion. At least not out of my sight, anyway.
Everything enters my head.
Right now I'm thinking if we leave Carrickfergus here,
Take as many normal people as we
he'll
can.
be resurrected in the form of a giant hamster. With bat wings
He's lucky.
and duck feet.
Why are you not so untrusted?
And crab claws and the scorpions on his head.
Did the abbot say such a thing?
There's much the abbot doesn't have to say. We're clever, you know. We've worked a few things out, and one of the things we've worked out is that it's not normal for humans to have antlers like that guy over there.
Come buckling down.
Actually,
are
are all the creatures female, or are they?
No.
No, we got one of them was a dude who met us at the gate.
I know. I was just wondering if what he's doing is different iterations of trying to create the perfect vessel for Strahd's partner.
No, I don't think
I
he
don't
was. I don't think he was using letters to make the perfect woman.
No, he was practicing his craft with them,
And got excited.
and then
So
he
the perfect vessel is his
Then-
magnum opus.
then he developed his Tatiana project, which is clearly incomplete.
And a monstrosity.
It's not the only thing that's clearly incomplete. His sense of
Oh, no,
sanity
he's
is very clearly
freaking bonkers.
You're saying he's bonkers and that is totally complete?
I am totally complete.
In my insanity.
You know, I should suggest he should improve himself. By the time we get back, he'll be like an octopus.
He's going to operate on himself?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I need to take the ether.
You know how it goes? An eagle learns surgery on his father's knee. Then he can practice on other parts of his father's body.
So, Jono, what are you
Yes.
I'm gonna give you about like 30 more seconds, I think.
Actually, could you open
Okay, I look around and see what else is on display in the area.
In the
Is
courtyard.
it just the these two, the spider thing and
As
the?
far as it, yeah. And she's got beautiful spider mandibles.
Oh, Jesus.
Is the spider thing still watching us, or is it gone?
Oh no, the spider thing's not
back in the
watching
well.
it. But no, this bat thing also has spider mandibles.
Oh, great. What is your name?
Um,
Do you have a name?
yes, my name is Marzina. Marzina Bellevue. I remember my name, and she has like long black hair, and that hides kind of usually a side of her face.
So she's like Wednesday with bat wings.
Yeah, she has
And spider face.
a cloven hoof in place of her right foot,
Okay.
and kind of as you take a step towards her, she sort of shuffles back a bit.
Where did she get all these spare parts from?
Not you know, she's wary of you moving closer.
I would just like-
She's chained up.
I would like to point out that the chances of me unchaining her are nil and nil, because I am compassionate, but I am also sane, and I have a good, healthy sense of self-preservation. I don't think she would actually intend to cause harm, but that's less important than
Then try home to meet the family who will go berserk.
Shoot her full of crossbow bolts.
And then come up here and shoot everyone else.
Okay, I honestly don't know what to do from here. Has anybody got any ideas?
Just back off. Go away.
Yeah, I'm backing off.
End the
As you
conversation.
back off, you hear this bell go off.
Set everything on fire.
Is that the feeding bell?
Yep. So now you've got to make a
70s.
just a willpower roll.
70s
Use your
11.
willpower modifier.
Where's my willpower modifier?
Maybe if you fail, you suddenly rush into the dining hall.
Where's Will?
Oh, just in your skills. So down here. So done it. Oh, sorry, wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, right. Okay, so we roll
Keep on saying willpower.
Okay, right. 19.
Yep, you're fine. It's loud, but your battered friend doesn't take it
Bat
too
an eyelid?
well. Yeah, no, she beats her wings and everything, and
Is
you don't know
everything
whether
okay?
it's quiet. And she says, "Food, food,
What do they feed?
food." All right, so it goes off. The abbot says,
Oh, it's Templar.
"The
Templar, it's Templar.
back to you guys."
To the Stony Child. Yeah.
The abbot goes as the bell rings. Yes, feeding time. Must. He looks at the woman and he goes, yes, later. Food. So he's almost got her untied, but he just kind of wonders and he goes, Cloven, food. And he walks out the door like completely.
Well, I'm going to free the
ignoring
gypsy woman right now.
I thought that. Oh yeah, he was in
He's
the
on
process.
he's on a partial gun.
Okay, I'll come and do the other side.
Okay. All right. You're untying her. Dave, perception check for Irene.
That's you, Katrina.
It's always been Irina, Peter.
I know.
Always.
You know what I'm like with names.
12. Total of.
Yep, total of 12. So you're freeing her, and there is a window just there. Reflected in the window, you see a ghostly figure of a nun. Yes.
Why are you being ghostly?
Why?
You can see through her?
And so, where in the room would she be relative to me right now, this nun, given the reflection?
Right behind you.
Okay.
She's behind me, isn't she?
If I turn slowly,
You see.
do I see anything?
She, sorry, is untying, and then she stops, and her eyes go wide. Do you keep on going? Do you look? And then looks like she's transfixed on something, but then slowly begins to turn. So, do you keep untying? Do you look to see what she's looking at?
I reach over and touch her lightly on the arm and ask what the matter is.
You jump at that point.
Yes,
when,
I would.
and you stop turning and you jump. So then, what do you say to him?
I saw a woman in the glass, reflected, behind me.
And when you turn around, nothing is there.
But there's no one there, but.
No.
I think the humours have affected you. The atmosphere of the castle.
Perception check.
Yes. It's freaky.
Or the
Yeah.
cathedral, perhaps. 2. I'm convinced
You
it's an
don't-
illusion.
You don't see anything.
A nun, you say? I don't
None
really
of
know
that.
about what nuns are in this world. Well, they're a priest, so I guess it's the same sort of thing. It's a religious person of some kind of order.
Who whacks you with a ruler?
Even though he says, "No, I can't see anything." Like
Feather duster in my case.
you described, like you sort of saw her vividly, but white robes, a black sort of almost like a coat, but no face.
No
You
face.
couldn't make out a face at all.
Okay.
And it appeared to you that her hands were under whatever vestments she was wearing.
Right.
She had no hands.
No heart on the outside of her body or anything like that.
Duckbill. Don't forget the duckbill.
You know what? For the first time in this game, no. I know that seems strange.
Weirdly enough, I was making a Catholic reference
Really?
there.
Yeah, no, I know.
He had a heart with a crown of thorns
The sacred
and,
The
heart.
rays of light.
and the blood. And it's like,
Oh, that thing, yes.
Yeah.
It's like freakish, man.
As Protestant kids, we were taught that Catholics doing religious art was evil, and things like that didn't do anything to
Evil?
evil.
It kind of is evil. It's certainly wacky. Anyway,
I will never
Pretty high
forget.
on the disturbing scale.
Speaking of like a
when you grow
disturbing-
up with it, it's just like nothing. It's like when, but then you get to be an adult and go, why was Jesus have his heart on the outside surrounded by thorns?
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
My dad and one of his friends, like devout Catholic,
Yeah.
I'll never forget it as long as I live, and I was so young, it frightened me every single time. I literally ran past this picture. It was a picture of, so just like a headshot of Jesus with the crown of thorns, but his eyes would open and close.
What?
Depending on the picture that you went past.
Jesus is
Imagine
watching
how much
you.
that scared me
Oh, that's one of the
as a small
depicted
child.
things.
Yeah.
It was either
It
made in Italy or the
frightened me.
Philippines,
Yeah.
basically.
It
Yes,
frightened
crazy,
me
crazy,
so
crazy,
much. I
crazy.
could not
I could
look
not.
at it, and I would have to run past
Oh
the
my
picture
god.
each time. And it was in the hallway, and you had to like to go to the bathroom. Of course, where did you have to go? Yeah.
Thankfully, I
It
was
was
an adult when I
creepy.
first saw
And
this.
you know what? It probably wasn't creepy. It was actually probably quite devout and nice.
Oh,
But
of course it was.
for like a 4-year-old boy,
Yeah, it's
it was
Yeah,
terrifying.
If you saw it today, you'd find it ludicrous.
Oh, definitely. But that image is burnt into my brain as something that, like, it would suddenly, but it wouldn't slowly open. So I was like it would just, like, eyes would be open looking at you and then close again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jesus is looking at you.
But only sometimes.
Jesus is always looking at
I've got to say, thankfully I was an adult when I encountered it, but Joe Boy lives with his parents-in-law, and whilst he and his wife are Protestants, his in-laws are very, very Filipino Catholic.
you. Yeah, what other kind of Catholic is there?
Oh, my
Or
goodness.
rather, what other kind of Filipino?
And
is?
well, there's distinct. Anyway,
That's
be
true.
that as it may, they've got a picture which is the Shroud of Turin.
Oh my goodness.
But if you walk past it, it shows the classic white. And I've never understood this. The classic white Jesus with blue eyes. In
Oh, I've
Filipino
got to
house.
see this. I haven't seen that.
And it's in the right place for the Shroud of Turin.
Oh, I have to see that. That'll probably bring me back.
Is
like
it Max
nightmares
von
of the other-
Sydow? Is it a young Max von Sydow?
Anyway,
Anyway,
as you're doing that,
That's the one
experience
role he
the
does.
ghostly shadow of the nun.
what's he
You
to do?
see past, so further up the hallway there are obviously other doors and stuff, and you see the abbot. He goes back down the stairs that you came up, but then
He's so lucky he's still alive.
but dead set.
I was so just about run that man through.
You see a guy who is about, how tall is this dude?
This isn't the same dude.
The trouble is, Carrick's body's going to be going gamey pretty soon. So
He's about 4'7", right?
Oh, okay.
And kind of toddles from side to side,
Bit
as
like
it
me a
looks
few
like
months
he's
ago.
trying to run but can't.
Yeah, a bit like me a few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, let's have that picture. I think it's like that. You without crutches.
Oh, we thought you
trying
were
to
in
do-
this one, though, Peter.
No, he's not quite doing that.
not
But-
quite, almost.
But because he's moving so slowly, but he is swinging side to side, and
Yeah,
he's trying
that
to
was
keep up
pretty
with
much
the
how I
abbot.
walked. Yep.
But you didn't have a second head.
No, I did not.
And as he moves past, like he's got one. You can't write this shit. He's got
Someone
one.
somebody did.
Someone did. I can't believe it. I'm not making this up.
Okay.
He's got one kind of human shaped head, but he's got one that's almost like a deformed baby, sort of like head. And because he moves so slowly, and because you squealed, the little head turns towards where you are,
And the eyes.
and it has really like slit sort of eyes.
Oh,
But then this little snake-like tongue goes
okay.
and pulls back in, and then it kind of moves off. Because this module is not weird enough.
Welcome to Total Recall.
As
Can I ask, which bits of this did you actually write?
I actually did not make that shit up. I made a lot of stuff up. I'll admit that I did not make that up. But that does sound like something I'd make up, and I quite like it.
The only reason I know you did.
And now all I can imagine is this is how she is laughing in game. And we've just lost Irina.
Somebody slap Irina, just bring her around.
Yes, I win!
What I love about this is, I knew you must. I asked, but I knew you must have read it because you look like you're every bit as freaked out by the rest of us.
And I
The
thought,
eyes opened.
it's all right. Like when I first read it, I thought they'll never meet this guy, so I won't have to worry about it. But no, it happens.
What? I missed out on a grand tour of the madhouse.
So what did we do wrong to meet this guy?
It was like the Pixie adventure in my game. You didn't have to go there, but I would have made sure you did. Because it's like there's no way I'm missing out on these pixies.
Okay.
Anyway,
You hear a lot of noise, and it's like a lot of excitement from downstairs in that. And as you reach the top of the
Occasional
stairs,
elephants trail.
your gigantic beast of a friend seems to have disappeared.
that's
Not-
pretty
not
impressive
down-
for a gigantic beast.
Not down at the bottom of the stairs, and the abbot is gone.
Mind
from
you,
the bottom of the stairs.
he's probably very nummies focused.
The abbot's gone.
He's like walked down the stairs, and when you get to the top of the stairs, the giant creature has gone, and so is the abbot. In fact, all you can hear is like a lot of commotion in that what sort of like
Yeah.
stable sort of area for one of them.
I grab what's your character's name?
Me, Ludovic.
I grab
Great
Ludovic's
captain,
arm
yeah.
and say, "Let's leave now."
We should finish unstrapping the lady.
Oh,
She's
that's
gonna go with us.
She's
Yes.
still tied up.
Well, we do that. Yes. I'm not sure we need to be here anymore.
But before we go, I should introduce myself.
As soon as the last strap is off, she sits bolt upright and slams 2 fists into your chest.
Excellent.
I'm going to roll for her.
Do those fists have knives in them?
No. She has rolled. She's rolled. So she's going to +1, 15.
Ow.
Do I roll against something? Or?
No, so because your armor class is 15, isn't it? Because I
Yes.
gave her a +1 with strength and she rolled a 14. So meets it, beats it is the rule. So you take. You take 1 point of damage.
Ah, I see your strength is returning, my dear. Excellent.
That's what I like to see.
Do you
Spirit.
wish to do something? So that's your action. You say something. Do you wish to do anything else?
I don't wish to attack her or anything. So
Okay,
no.
so she proceeds. She's going to hit you a couple more
I'm going to
times.
step back after this attack.
Okay, so hang on. She's rolled a 7. So you must step back just in time, and then she falls and hits the ground.
All right, let's pick her up.
Yep, I pick her up and start to take her out unless she's going to fight me.
She's kind of struggling a bit, but now she's screaming. So if you want to roll a persuasion check to try and calm her down or something.
Hang on.
In
Maybe
the
I
whole
should
of humankind,
just-
every time somebody has said calm
let's-
down,
let's just
the
do
person they're
persuasion.
talking to has calmed down.
No, my dear. If you play your cards right, we can get you out of here alive.
That sounds like a pretty
18.
damn good deal. My God, Irina's
rolled.
got +6 strength. Irina's
12.
like a beast.
She appears to calm. She appears to be listening to you now.
Vampiric strength.
Shush now. There'll be
You
none
seem
of
to be
that.
persuaso man tonight. You can persuade anybody. Maybe I should just introduce
Oh, hang
Strahd
on.
into this thing
That's-
now and see if you can persuade him to kill himself.
That's right. Sorry, actually, I didn't get 18.
What'd you get? Because she got 13.
23.
Okay, there we go.
I forgot my +5.
It's your vampiric charm.
I think it's
She
mesmerised
stops screaming and you feel her just like her strength give out.
Yeah.
Like that kind of burst of energy took a lot out of her.
I think you should take charge of her.
Yes,
I
I
think
think
she'll
so.
be upsetting her.
What time are we finishing tonight?
Oh, so
I'm just saying, I'm really enjoying this tonight. This is great fun.
oh, good. Okay, good.
Now this sucks.
Good.
It's been awesome.
Good. Okay, so you can get her down the stairs. Where do you wish to go? You can hear the abbot's
to the
voice,
court
but
now.
it's further.
Yeah,
It's
let's
further down
hurry.
into the
let's
stable.
Hurry
Get
to
the
the
hell-
hall where these two guys
Yeah,
are.
get into the light. Into
Pick
the
up
hall,
this guy. Definitely recover Carrick's body from wherever it
and get
is.
the hell out of
And
Dodge.
get the hell out of here.
And the creepy town down below as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have no idea what's going to happen to Carrick's body, I'm
We're
afraid.
taking
But,
it with
We're
us.
using it as a.
but I don't think leaving it in the care of the abbot seems like a great idea to me.
Or don't we,
We can just murder him after
don't
he's
we
raised
still
you.
need to get a diamond and
Yes,
come
that's
bring
true.
you
We
back
have
Yeah.
here?
some kind of
Uncle
side
Bart
quest.
popped.
I don't think
So
it's
what's that?
Adelbard.
I know, but I've got Arglebast in the brain now.
Argenvast.
Arglebast.
Norgenvast.
Slarty bastard.
So,
bastard.
the
You're
plan
by
is-
Baron Bombast.
Okay, so the plan, you're going to take Carrick's body back with you?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, we're not leaving it behind. That's nuts.
So how are you going to get him raised, or are you going to forget about it?
We're gonna bring him back in. Be raised when we have.
We're not
time.
gonna leave the body here
No.
with Captain
just-
Slice and Dice. I
We'll
mean,
just
you know.
preserve him in resin.
Amber.
Right.
Amber
is the
resin.
answer.
Okay.
He
Where are
has
you
resin,
going
just
to
as he
get
said.
the amber from?
Sap from trees.
You know that amber is sap that's been underground around for thousands of years.
That's okay. We can bury you after we put you in.
Okay, so you take
That's
the body.
sounding like a good idea right now.
The bell has stopped ringing. Okay, the bell has stopped ringing, and you can hear a lot of commotion going on down in that area of the shed. That creature is still tied to the post. You don't see anything near the well. That creature that you saw in the well is either gone somewhere else or back down the well. You have got the body. So, just to make it clear, Urban.
Yep.
You're leaving the potion, and you're taking the tome. Is that right? What have you done with? I seem to recall. Ray, did you say you put the disc back?
Yeah. No, I did.
I just want a picture of like
What we have.
what's done
Yeah,
now.
definitely
So we're on
it
the
is.
same page about what's happened.
Does this mean that the potion is significant?
I guess
Probably.
if I take the book, I may as well take the potion. That's all.
Take the potion.
I didn't want to appear to
Loot
be just an
everything.
outright thief.
The abbot may not be aware that there is anything that there is a hidden chamber there.
Well, either he or Strahd put it there.
Exactly. Strahd put it there, obviously.
But why would Strahd put a potion there? You don't.
No, the abbot seems to kind of like Strahd. He's willing to do the thing with the vessel.
Well,
Urban
it
history
might be
check.
like, but it also might be a peas.
So whatever your
Yeah,
history
so I think
modifier
it's more
is,
on a
add that to your
peace
D20 roll.
Who's a vampire? It's just occurred to me.
You've got a little plastic surgery.
Hang on, just see what Urban gets on this roll. And actually, because you're a thief, you can roll with advantage. So the higher of the two D20 rolls, and add your modifier, your history modifier. No, no good.
Yeah, 6.
6 is the highest with rolling twice.
Yeah, I rolled 4 twice.
You mean you're not a scholar?
Okay.
I won't know scholar.
With a roll of 6, you actually can't. you try to determine how long both of those things have been in there, but
How long has that been?
you're
An hour
not
now?
sure.
I bought this in 2001.
So what would you like to do? Just tell me what you're taking, what you're leaving, and what you do with the disc.
Russian flag.
Any advice, man?
What are we doing exactly?
As far as I know, he's put the tome in the bag of holding.
Yes.
Yep.
He's debating what to do with the potion of superior healing, and they've still got the sun disc off with the hole exposed.
You take
Put
the
the-
potion,
put the disc back.
Alright, I take both of them, put the
Make,
disc
make
back.
sure you
Okay,
relock it.
Alright, take both of them, put the disc back.
Hang on, it had a locking
That-
mechanism?
No, it was just
No,
I just had to
it
jimmy
was
it
just-
off.
Oh,
just
okay.
insert.
Okay, just pop
Um,
it back.
Make it look like it did
Interestingly enough, Urban, it did have a locking mechanism, but that was broken on it, which is how you were able to get it off so easily. Someone has broken into it previously.
Alright.
And also, you might not remember from last week, someone had opened that book previously as well because it did have a trap on it to go off if the book was opened.
Like, using your ability to leave a message, pretending to be Strahd. Say you came and took your book and your potion.
Oh!
Why would you need the special ability to that rather than write a note?
Just use the special because it's more. It'll be
because
more
the special
impressive.
ability means he can make it appear to be somebody
Oh,
else's
right,
handwriting.
right. And so what it actually says is, "Boo sucks to be you."
Alright, I do that.
What's the real message?
Dear
Because
Abbot.
remember, it's an illusory message.
Yeah.
Well, the real message could be the same.
No, I didn't write that, I
The
just
fake
write-
one is in his
I have
handwriting.
retaken
It was-
possession of my.
I've taken what was mine.
Okay, so something words to that effect.
Yeah.
So
Alright,
what
okay.
was the words of the prophecy about the behind the sun? Please tell me. For I do not have.
Never to touch the things, or especially not put them in your face.
Do not touch the sun in the daytime.
Don't wear
Monk,
your wax wings.
history,
I wrote much better notes. If only I had.
trace, I think.
Where's
Behind-
Carrot Fergus's
Oh,
character?
jeez, he won't even let me say it. Behind the sun, house of the saint.
Oh, that's all you've got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
so this
Just take what's behind the sun.
card,
then.
this card tells of history. So knowledge of your enemy will give
Yep.
you power.
Well, that happened,
Okay.
right?
So basically, reading the tome
Yes.
will help you understand more about Strahd,
Yes.
and therefore give you powers to defeat him because you will know things
Yes.
about him that he doesn't realise you know.
Good.
that kind of thing.
Let's keep that then. And
Alright.
the potion.
Well, we got it.
We've also got sheds, lights,
You
tender,
you-
child Bastani, hurry.
So you arrive down in
Nice
the
and clean.
village of Kresk.
I think it relates to this girl.
Oh,
She's
sorry,
with
we've
you.
left, have we?
Yes.
Yeah, you said you were leaving.
So we take the break. We take the brakes off the car and we roll down that hill.
Let's just get
Well, it's downhill, so it takes you like 3/4 of the time is what it did to get you up there.
No, it takes us half the time
We leave
because
the
we're
body
friggin'
behind.
bulky.
Take you half the time.
there. Okay.
Did he have a freezer?
Rather than argue about whether
Yep.
we're there or there, let's just be there.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was
Okay.
thinking. Let's just do that.
What
So you're back in the village
got
of Kresk.
Fergus's
It is
body?
getting towards evening.
What side of shrubbery is there on the path down to the bottom?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so cool.
It's approaching evening. Do you wish to do anything before you settle in for the night?
Bar ourselves in our domestic.
Okay.
Surround myself
I'll
with
check my
crumpled
mum and baby.
newspaper.
Sorry?
Check my mum and baby.
Okay, so where are you putting Carrick's body? Just before we go to Urban, where are you putting Carrick's body?
In the
Not
basement.
outside.
I actually need to sleep. Can somebody else please guard it tonight?
I'll guard it tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so
But
are you?
can we take turns guarding? Because I want to have at least some sort of rest so I can get my amazing reroll ability back.
Okay. So
I assume that was a yes.
Yes.
I will help
Urban's-
guard the body.
Excellent.
Urban's
I'll do half
checking
of it.
on
You can do the other
the
half.
woman that he was looking after, the one that gave
Yes.
birth. Are the rest of you staying with the burger master for
I guess so.
the evening? Okay.
Wherever we were staying
Alright.
before.
Urban,
Makes
you
good
check on
food-
you
makes
check
good
on this
food
lady. The baby is doing well, and so is she. But her husband has not returned yet, and she's starting to feel very worried. But she's very grateful that you've come back
Excellent.
to check on her. And she says he hasn't returned, but I'm sure he can't be far away. You were welcome to stay here again.
Forever.
Forever.
So,
Forever.
Chop some
You-
more wood.
okay, chop some more.
500
For the
years
rest
later,
of-
still chopping wood.
Is there anything you wish to do before settling in for the night?
Pray to my God,
Okay.
Not a kid.
whatever that one is.
Urban, she
If I
settles.
was Carrick,
She
I'd
settles
know
in
what
for
I
the
was
night.
doing.
With the other kid.
Oh, you can go and check on him if you want.
Is it alright?
Okay. Yeah, he's asleep, soundly in his bed. Yeah.
Are there any more graves that have been disturbed since we last left?
No, not you. No.
Okay.
You settle in for the night. She makes you up a place near the fire for you to sleep, so you're a little bit more comfortable. Urban, it gets to about, let's say, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and you're awoken by a sound, and it's not the sound of someone in the other room stirring, but it's like the fire is made sort of this crackling sort of noise. And when you turn towards the fire, you're sure it's an illusion, but you see like two eyes looking out from the flames. And you're sure it's just a trick until you see that these eyes in fact blink. And then as you're still watching,
Sirius Black.
you see that like these hands, but they're a little bit more like claws, and they wrap around the top of the fireplace. And as these eyes look at you, it appears, whatever it is, to pull itself down out of the chimney. And as it comes down out of the chimney, you kind of hear this as like bones are like reforming back into like its shape, because it's a very narrow section and it's clicking. And
the husband?
as it comes out, you see that there are long horns to it as well.
Satan.
Do you wish to?
Oh no, it's Krampus!
Do you wish to? Do you wish to
to engage?
anything at this point?
Prepare for battle, I'm assuming.
As you go to move, you realise that you are transfixed and you're locked. Your eyes are locked on this thing, and you feel an inability to be able to move. And as this thing comes further and further out, it has a purplish-like face, and it's old and ragged, and it has horns, and it seems in a way surprised to see you, but not like it sort of knew you were there. And it finally ends its clicking, and you see that it is an old, withered, haggard sort of woman, but this one has these horns and kind of devilish eyes. And as you're laying in front of the fire, it moves over you, sits on your chest, looks down upon you. And as you go to scream and you can't, you're trying to do it, and every muscle is frozen, and even your voice is frozen. It opens its mouth, and its mouth gets wider and wider and wider. And I need you to roll 2 d20s for me and tell me the higher result.
The next time you see Urban, something seems amiss.
Oh, no.
At the very least, she's shattered hands.
And the mouth seems to get ever bigger and bigger. 11 is the higher result. You, as this mouth gets bigger, and it's almost like it's screaming, but it's not screaming. And in fact, you realise that it's not, the scream that you hear is not it, but you. And you feel like life has been drawn out of you. And in that instant, where we'll finish tonight, you discover 2 things. Your permanent hit points have been reduced by 11, and you suddenly realise this is how the children died.
Ooh. Okay. You might need to adjust your character
So,
sheet.
going off by yourself and being alone wasn't a good thing after all. Yeah, that'll teach you to abandon us, you ingrate. Yes.
Sheesh.
Holy crap.
Damn.
Oh, Jesus. How many hit points did you start off with?
10.
No.
You're
Maybe
now
to-
dead. All suspense has been killed. Should have about 50 or something, shouldn't you?
51.
51.
Well, that's probably.
Am I doing this for you, Evan? What's going on here?